You are live. You are live. Okay. I don't know who's watching right now. Let me know if you guys can hear me, if the sound is clear. It says streaming in here. Bear with me, guys. This is the first time. Okay, okay. Thanks for letting me know. It looks like it's on now. Can you hear me? How about now? Can you hear me now? Perfecto. Hey, loud and clear. Where are you right now? In South Africa? I'm just waiting for more people to join before we carry on. I know it's 7 minutes past, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Grab yourself your tea, I don't know, rum, coke, popcorn, while we wait. In the meanwhile, I'm gonna maybe invite a few people to the live. Hey Thomas, how are you doing? Where are you tuning in from? While we wait, I would like people to start introducing themselves and where they are from. Still in Guadiana. Where is this Guadiana? I've got no clue where is it. Sorry. I've got no clue where is it. I'll have to Google that. clue at all. Guadiana. Let me see. Let me see. It's the south pole of Portugal and Spain. It's a river. Ah, I see. I see. Is that you who sent me a message asking if I was around that area? Someone sent me a message or comment on YouTube asking if I was there, and then I said no, I'm still in UK in this cold weather. Ah, I see. I see. Yeah, because over here is not the best weather at the moment, but we can't complain. We're still alive. So, how is the weather over there? Is it good? Are you sailing at the moment, or is it the boat on the island? Sailing Valiant. What's your name, sir? Is it sir? Is it a lady? Staying here for the winter, going to live soon. I say. I see. And where are you heading next? If you don't mind sharing with us. He says four people joining so far. Would you mind to introduce yourself once you joining the chat, please, where you chatting from? Oh, okay, okay. Cape Verde, that's where my wife come from. Yeah, she come from Cape Verde. That's my plan to sail to Cape Verde eventually. Came from South Africa, Richard on Instagram a while ago. Okay. Yes, yes. Okay, James. Yeah, I remember. I see. Yeah, it's because it says only the name of the boat, so I can't remember who was it before. It says five people joining so far. Would you mind to introduce yourself and tell us where are you chatting from or watching from? I would like to have everyone engaging and talking and be patient. Bear with me because it's my first time doing a live. Yeah, James, I guess I told you that I've been in South Africa. I mean, I lived there for 2 years in 98 and 1999. I was in Johannesburg. I was actually trying to get visa in South Africa to go to America because it was always my dream to live in America. But life is not always as we wish it was. But we move on. Okay, seems like it will be Mr. Tom and James and me. Tom, how long have you been watching my videos for? And where do you come from as well? Thomas. Thomas Leo. Okay, I guess I'll just start talking because there is no people at the moment tuning in. They might come in later or let's see. So, as you guys might know, my name is Luis Neto and I was born and raised in Angola. And first of all, I would like to thank you guys to joining this live stream in our channel from Refugee to Yacht owner today. Today, it will be only about connecting, not just about sharing stories. It's about connecting, learning, and inspiring each other. I don't know if you guys been following for a long time or from now, but I'm really thrilled to have you guys here, the first free guys to join the stream or the live stream. So much appreciated for taking time to joining this live. And we will be talking about a voyage of discovery, tackling challenges, embracing change, and celebrating the beauty of pursuing our dreams. And we'll have the questions at the end. If anyone joining now, please introduce yourselves and tell us where you chatting from. Okay. I was born in Angola and I thought refugee in the Netherlands where I embraced the new beginnings. And those early days taught me resilience. Yeah, it was not easy. It was super difficult to leave all my family behind, friends, my culture, the language, everything. But the power of dreams and the importance of taking action made me move forward. So, fast forward through the years of hard work in Portugal and dreaming of having my own business, I end up owning a salon in Portugal. and I had to work 7 days a week, Monday to Monday, Monday to Monday, for hours and hours to become a salon owner. And eventually I managed to do it. But it was not just credit to myself, it was credit to one of the person that I work with. And her name was Doriza. She was really inspiring as well. She kept asking me why. Because initially, when I started working there, I was working as employed. I was employed by someone, and she kept inspiring me. Why don't you work for yourself? You've got so many customers. You very skilled barber. Why don't you try and be self-employed? So initially, I was a little bit skeptical or hesitant to move forward with being self-employed. So I started inquiring or doing research with my own customers, and I was like, what do you think of the idea of working as a self-employed? And I asked a couple of customers, I asked my missus, I asked my mom, and most of the customers told me, no, you know how to cut hair. We come here for you, so you should go ahead with that. Excuse me. And then that's when I went to talk to the owner of the salon, and I say, look, rather than working for yourself, I would rather rent a chair. And they all start from there. I end up renting a chair in our salon. I was working there for about an year. This is in Lisbon, in a place called Casen. And I worked there for about a year. Eventually, I managed to open my own salon. And this is when well, basically, when I left Angola in 2003, I moved to the Netherlands. I was there for 4 years, and then I moved to Portugal because my process as a refugee, or the process of getting papers, was super complicated. And every time when I had meetings with my solicitors, because when you are a refugee, you are allocated one solicitor or lawyer. Every time when I had to go and meet him, he was telling me, your process is very complicated. He was always not giving me, what's the word? Hopes, basically. So eventually, after staying there for 4 years, I was studying. Eventually, they cut me from study. While I was there, I was studying IT. I learned the language and I was studying IT. So I learned to fix computers. Eventually, they stopped me from study because I had no permanent permit to stay in the Netherlands. All I had was the temporary sort of green card or refugee card to to stay there. That card you had to reapply every couple of months. You don't even need to do anything. They would just give you a new card every year. So when they stopped me from study, I was like, well, what am I doing here? I'm not studying, I'm not working. I think I might just leave this country and try to look for something better, because I was not allowed to work, I was not studying. That's when I decided to go to Portugal. Since my grandfather, my mom's dad, is Portuguese, I rang my mom and said, look, what are the possibilities of getting the Portuguese citizenship? And my mom said, no, it'll be easier, it'll not be too difficult. All I need to do is just apply for it. So my mom had to apply for it as well. So she did apply for citizenship, Portuguese passport, and then I was ringing her all the time. Mom, come on, come on. If you get the papers, I will get the papers. Then I'll be able to be in Europe and so on. So I end up moving to Portugal. But from the time I went to Portugal, I had no papers at all, not even my own passport from Angola, because I lost everything while I was there. So I had to go apply for my own Angolan passport first. I went to the embassy to apply for the passport, and it took about 12 months to get that passport. It was a long, long time. And to get to that embassy, you had to go about 5 a.m. to stay in the queue. The embassy only opens at 9, and I used to live about 20 minutes by trying to the embassy. So, making it short, I had to wait 12 months before I could get my passport. Eventually, I went driving without driving license. I know, bad of me, but I went and I got caught by the police. I got caught by the police driving without license. So I had to I had to go to court for driving without license. And then I went to look for a solicitor and I told him, look, I have to go to court because of this. I explained the situation. And one of the reasons I was also driving because of no driving without license is because my wife got pregnant and she got a baby, and the baby was born with some sort of issues, so he had to stay in the incubator for a while, and I had to go to the hospital every single day. So I was going to work and go to the hospital to see the mom and the baby. While I was asking for a few friends to take me for a lift, one of them suggested, Luis, you can get a car. I said, well, I've got no license. He said, well, just get. So, car, car in short, because of the issue of driving without license, I end up going see a solicitor, and I couldn't apply for my I couldn't apply for my Portuguese citizenship without my nationality, or better, my identity from Angola, or passport or ID. So I then told the solicitor, look, I went to apply for the Angolan ID. Until today, I had no answer for the embassy. It's almost 7 months. And the solicitor say, no, don't worry, I can apply for it even without your Angolan ID. I was around 27 at the time. And then the solicitor say, all I need to do is prepare a paper that give me the power of attorney for me to be able to apply for the papers for you. So I signed the paper, I paid him, and the solicitor said, look, I'm going to apply for it, and within 6 months, I believe, you have all your papers. So then I signed the papers, and the solicitor put the papers forward. And one second. Solicitor put the papers forward. Within 6 months, I had the Portuguese citizenship. In the meanwhile, I was working. Eventually, one random day, a customer of mine come and say, "Look, Luis, they taking people to." Okay, basically, in 6 months, I had my Portuguese citizenship ID and so on. One customer comes to the shop and say, "Luis, they taking people to go to work in England." And my first question was, "Okay, what's the salary?" And the customer say, well, I don't know about the salary, but it would be better if you go and see for yourself. So I went to the agency the next day, went to the interview. I applied for work to come to work in England because the economy in Portugal was going down. So I ended up coming to England a month and a half later. I came to work for a factory called Bernard Matthew. But when I came to work here, I came with a plan. My plan was to set up my own business and work as a self-employed because that's what I used to do while I was in Portugal. So I used to work in the morning in the morning in the salon. Oh, excuse me. When I arrived in England, the factory told us that we had to wait for 7 days before we can start work. And I said, no, I say to myself, I can't stay here 7 days without working. I left my family, I had bills to pay and stuff. I say, no, I need to go look for work. So I went out in the city where I came, which was Great Yarmouth. I went to look for jobs, and I explained to them that I'm looking for a part-time job only because I was going to start work in the factory in the evening. So I went to a couple of salons, look for work, and my English was just like that. It's still not as 100%, but at least I can communicate better than 13 years ago. So I went to look for jobs, and some of them were like, "No, we're looking for full time," and some of them, "Oh no, we don't look we're not recruiting at the moment. And eventually I got someone who say, yeah, it's okay, you can start whenever you're free to start. I say, okay, I can start from tomorrow. And then I start working in the salon from 9 a.m. till about 12, no, sorry, till about 2. And I used to work in the factory from 4 p.m. till about midnight. So what I used to do, my early days used to start about 6, 7 a.m. I wake up, take my shower, I cook, I prepare my lunch and put some food on the fridge and so on. And then I go to the salon. I used to go and stay in the salon for about, or better, from 9 till 2, and then from 2 I go home. I get my pack lunch, take a shower, and walk to the bus stop to take a bus to the factory. I used to work to a factory called Bernard Murphy, where we used to work till midnight. When I came, I was working really, really, really hard because my goal, as I said before, was to try and become self-employed. So eventually, after working in the factory for about 2 months, they only needed the staff for temporary jobs. So I came around Christmas and the factory needed staff for the time when they were really busy. Christmas times, that's when people here in England consume a lot of turkey for Christmas. So eventually, they told us, look, we don't need staff anymore. They only had the permanent staff, so I had to go. Eventually, I started working in the salon full time. But as I was working in that city for full time, it was not sustainable because it was like I was a new barber in town basically, so I didn't have enough customers, and it was not working well for me. I remember calling my wife and say, "Look, here the things are not going great. I've saved some money for working in both works at the same time." And then I remember she telling me, "Come back." I said, "No, no, no. Life is not about that. If you fall, you just don't fall and stay on the floor. You need to stand up, dust yourself up, and keep moving." So that's when I then said, I was inquiring people, do you know any other salons in different city or different places? And one of the customers suggests me, look, and there is another city in Norwich, is about half an hour from where we are. There is a salon where I can take you and you can try and get a job over there. So eventually, when it was really going down where I was working, I called him and I said, look, can you take me to that city? Can you introduce me to the salon that you were talking about? And the guy said, yeah, that's fine. I'll be with you in 2 days. I'll come and pick you up and take you there. He was a Portuguese guy. His name is Ricardo, a really nice guy. Thanks, Ricardo. If you're watching this, I'll really appreciate that. And Ricardo took me to a place called Norwich, a city called Norwich, and where I came to meet the guys and talk to them. And the owner of the shop was telling me, Luis, you can work with us. It's down to you if you want to work for us or if you want to be a self-employed. I said, look, I would rather be self-employed because I've been working as a self-employed for a while. And then he say, okay. He say, when are you willing to start? I say, well, give me about 3 weeks because I would rather give a notice to the previous owner or the salon where I am right now. I don't want to just leave without telling them anything. So he say, yeah, that's fine. I'll see you in 3 weeks then. And that's when I moved back to my city, Yarmouth, and I told the owner of the salon, I say, look, I've been working here and the things are not going well for me, as you can see. And she understood, the owner of the salon. She was very understanding, very comprehensive. She said, okay, that's fine. And then 3 weeks later, I moved to Norwich. I mean, I went to work in Norwich, which was about 35 minutes to 40 minutes by bus. So I used to commute every single day to Norwich for work. As I was working here, things started going great. And then after 1 month of work, I decided, okay, things are going well. I might as well move it rather than commuting every single day. So I start asking customers in Norwich, do you know any place where I can stay for accommodation and so on, cheap accommodation? And one of the guys say, yeah, yeah, you can stay in my house. The rent is X and forever. And yeah, yeah. So I moved to his house a week later, and then I started working because I came to England by myself. I had no friends, no family whatsoever. I was just working 7 days a week. As I said, I was working hard, and my goal was to open my own business. I was working 7 days a week because I was working in one salon where some of the Norwich players, the football team of the local of the city, were coming. But most of the customers they were going only for one barber because he was the main barber there. So I had to find a way to get my own customers because they don't work on Sundays. I start working on Sundays because on Sundays I could get my own customers. I work for 7 days a week, Monday to Monday, Monday to Monday, back to forth, back and forth. Eventually, I start building my own clientele. Sorry. As I was building my own clientele, um, 1 year later, I had to move to a different shop. For some reason, there is someone who was doing bad business. The owner of the shop was doing drug business in the shop. So police came and raided the whole shop. We had to be completely naked and show everything. I even remember saying to one of the police officers, I don't believe I'm going to have to do striptease for free for you. And the police officer laughed and said, look, we're just doing our job. And then, yeah, eventually I talked to the owner of the shop and I said, look, I'm moving. So I moved to another shop where I worked there for nearly a year and a half. And then I end up open my own business. And things move from there. From there, that's when I was starting to look at sailing channels like Capitan Rick, Delos, and I decided that well, this is cool. I like traveling, and sailing seems like the most expensive free way to travel. I said, look, I like this. I think I'm gonna buy my own sailing boat too, and I ended up buying my sailing boat. This was during around COVID times, and it was a tough time because I'm used to talking to people, and during that time, we were just have to be at home by ourselves, and talking to no one was kind of difficult for me. Okay, I'll let you guys do some questions if you want to know anything about me more. If you want to share your experiences as well, I'd love to hear from you guys. Any questions? Okay. Who else is still in the chat? As I can see, no one's willing to make any questions. Nothing from so far. It's okay, no problem. Yeah, I guess that's it for today then. As our time to draws to a close, I want to thank you guys for joining in. Since you guys have no stories to share with me, all right, guys, thank you. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time in the next episode or the next live. Thank you so much. Much appreciate for tuning in. Have a good evening. Thank you, guys. Bye bye. Bye.